It's an absolutely fantastic day here in Puerto de la Cruz today. So we're going to take a walk along the coast from here. This is the little castle of San Felipe, which is brilliant because it's been converted into a exhibition and concert space, and it's like the TARDIS. It's about 4 times bigger on the inside, or so it seems, than you see on the outside there. So we're heading across along the side of the water to Punta Brava, over where that big hotel is, and then beyond as far as we can get along the coast. This is the Playa or garden beach, and so called because of the beautiful gardens just behind it. This is one of the big barrancos running into the sea. As you can see, pretty overgrown, but if there is a storm situation, a lot of water will run off the mountains very, very quickly. And this can and does occasionally become a torrent of water pouring off the mountain there, off the ridge. And over on this side you can see back to the San Felipe, and also the people on the black sand beach. We're nearly at Punta Brava now. That's Punta Brava just over there. Little suburb really, I guess, of Puerto de la Cruz. And just behind that you can see the start of Lora Parque, which translates as Parrot Park, but there's a lot more in there now, including dolphins, orcas, sea lions, gorillas, tigers, all sorts of animals. It's a fully fledged zoo. Don't know what you think about zoos, but it's one of the premier attractions in not just Europe but the world, as voted by TripAdvisor. So it's certainly very popular. You can see the end of Playa down there. Black sand gets really hot when the sun is on it, and there's quite an undertow as well with the Atlantic rollers coming in. It's quite calm today, but you have to be careful if you're in the water. You have to really know your stuff. It's also blue flag beach, so it's very, very clean. We're in Punta Brava now, just by the main square, and the fantastic view of the church, and way in the background is the volcano Teide. Still with snow on, although some of it's melted in the last few days. So we're through Punta Brava now. We're just heading up towards the Hotel Maritime ahead of us. This isn't a particularly nice section of the walk, but the footpath proper starts just beyond the Maritime, so it's a necessary evil to get to the start of the footpath. This is the start of the footpath proper now. We're just beyond the Maritime. Different signage again, but it is well signed. This is one of the number of stacks that you see along the coast. Obviously a haven for seabirds and the like. Good indication of the extent of erosion on this part of the coastline. Obviously Atlantic rollers coming in. Unfortunately the coastal footpath isn't continuous. I think it's because there's been some erosion on certain sections of it and they've not replaced the path. So you have to come through this little urban area, which is not too far, it's not too bad, apart from the barking dogs. We're back on the path now. Nice easy walking, pretty straight and level, although there are some ups and downs on this path. And as you can see, the views are stunning along the coast, looking westwards towards Garachico and Buena Vista. We won't be getting that far today on this walk, but it's a lovely coastal drive, or both coastal bus ride, to get all the way down to the Tenerife region, and we will be doing some walks over there in due course. Down there is Casa Hamilton, not named after the racing driver as far as I know, but clearly a very English sounding name, and it's something to do with water processing. Obviously long out of use, but quite an impressive ruin right on the coast here. It's not all straightforward on the level walking on this path. There's quite a bit of up and down, and what you have to remember if you're doing a there and back walk is that every time you go down you're faced with the equivalent coming back up when you turn round. This is probably one of the longest sections of downhill, so we'll see how we get on the way back. We're getting closer to the Mirador San Pedro now, which is a good intermediate stop, if not a final destination. 1 or 2 cafes and so on there. The Atlantic looked absolutely fantastic. Lovely blue sea, and it looks pretty calm until you see the rollers coming in. Doesn't it look fabulous? This is the Mirador San Pedro. For some of us, this could be the end of the walk. Plenty of cafes here to enjoy a drink or a light lunch. We're going to carry on down this way and try and go a bit further, try and go to Juan de la Rambla, see if we can get that far. I love this sign here, Pico del Teide, 27 kilometres. That's great. What it doesn't tell you, it's also 3,700 odd metres of altitude. So that's quite some walk if anyone's planning to do that. But it's interesting to see that there is a TF41 marked here. Well, this is a fantastic spot. This is Playa del Socorro. Just a small beach, but just look at it. Fantastic surf, plenty of surfers out today. Lovely sands, good car parking and amenities here. Not a big road in, it clearly can't take too many people, but it's absolutely gorgeous here. What a lovely spot for lunch. Well, I had a look at the footpath from Playa El Socorro down to La Rambla, and it looked a bit iffy. It was on big stones along the beach, and there were signs of landslip, etc. So I decided to give that a miss and come up here instead. I've started on the footpath. We saw the sign earlier for Pico del Teide. I'm certainly not going all the way up there, no way. But this is interesting. This is the TF5 road beneath us, which is the main road which runs east-west across the top of the island, the northern part of the island really. Not quite as motorway-like in this section as it is beyond Puerto de la Cruz, but you can see quite a way along, and it's not too bad at the moment. It's reasonably busy, but it can get a lot busier than this. I don't know if you'll see on the film, but a few tunnels up ahead, because sometimes you just can't get round the rock, you have to go through it. But fantastic views all the way, beautiful coastline, and we'll carry on a little bit further before we head back to Puerto de la Cruz. This is the little village of Tacaiga, which is basically a dead end. There's not too much up there except the footpath, which continues somewhere over those hills to eventually to Pico del Teide. As I say, we're not going to do that today, that's too far. This is really, I think, the end of the line for us. I think we'll turn back now and head back down the hill. That'll be nice, into the view, into the scenery, and follow the footpaths that we've taken back to Puerto de la Cruz. So hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one.